The one person that also gets some um some flack for this game, or that needs to be talked about because of what he did or lack thereof of what he did in this game, is none other than the quarterback for this exact team, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, my homeboy. Sunday was the first time that Patrick Mahomes had a negative EPA since the 2021 championship game against the Cincinnati Bengals, a game that he lost as well because the Bengals went to the Super Bowl that year. Mahomes in that game, 21 of 32, 257 yards, three touchdowns, two interceptions, and a lost fumble. He was also sacked 6 times in that game, which is the most times he's been sacked in the Super Bowl. Yes, that's exactly what happened. Before Sunday, Patrick Mahomes was 7-0 in playoff games with spreads of 3 points or less, and they lost the game by double digits, almost losing by 20, pretty much. You can pretty much say they lost by 20 because it was 40-6 in the fourth quarter. So there you go. This is the first time in 25 playoff games, Spags, a defensive coordinator allowed 40 plus points. So, Spags, that's not good for you, my boy. Patrick Mahomes only lost 2 games in his career by 20 plus points entering Sunday, which was 24 points in week 7 against the Tennessee Titans in week 7 in 2021. And when he lost to Tom Brady in the Super Bowl by 22 points. In the first 5 drives of the Super Bowl, the Chiefs only had 14 yards total as a team. That is the fewest yards they've had in the first 5 drives of any game started by Patrick Mahomes. And this in the Super Bowl, the biggest stage of them all. And you only have 14 yards in the first 5 drives. That's actually absolutely putrid. Entering Sunday, Patrick Mahomes had gone 288 consecutive passes without an interception. He threw 2 in that game and lost a fumble. In the first quarter, Patrick Mahomes had a total of 17 yards. Saquon Barkley, who also did not have a good game, had 19 yards. Saquon won the Super Bowl, though. That was one of the worst performances I have seen. And the only reason why he had 3 touchdowns in that game is because it was garbage time. The game was pretty much over. They were down 40-6, and they started to put the backups in, and then Xavier Worthy went crazy. So, I mean, if the Eagles kept their starters in just like the Chiefs did, then it probably would have been a 30-point loss. I think we all can agree to that. He got sacked 6 times in that game. Patrick Mahomes was also not really good against cover 4. Earlier in the game, the Eagles played 64% of cover 4 defense, and Patrick Mahomes was 4 of 8 for 23 yards and an interception. Patrick Mahomes didn't know what to do with the cover 4 defense. He's Patrick Mahomes. He's supposed to be the best quarterback in the league. I think he still is, of course. But is he still not able to read defenses now? Because remember, he said this just a couple seasons ago that he couldn't read defenses for real. Is he still having that issue? Can he not read cover 4? That's what it looks like to me. The Chiefs ranked in the middle of the NFL with 40.6% pressures allowed in the game. The Eagles, which ranked 10th in the league, were pressuring him only 43. And guess what? They didn't blitz once in that game. Not one time. They only rushed 4. And Teddy, I know you said this, Brady would never. But I have to mention this. A lot of people said that Brady never had a Super Bowl where they didn't blitz him and he lost. That is false. The 2 losses he had against another NFC team, the Giants, they rushed 4. And Brady lost both times against the Giants. Just saying. Just saying. Brady is still the GOAT, though. And he's in that conversation by himself. Patrick Mahomes is not in that conversation right now. He still has a ways to go. His career is not over whatsoever. But let's stop the GOAT conversation when it comes to Patrick Mahomes and Brady. It's Brady by himself. Then you got those guys. Yes, you're absolutely right. He didn't get smacked. He did not get smacked. But he still lost. So, Patrick Mahomes, my homeboy, who some people have tried to call the GOAT, you are now in the doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.